You're late, Keenan.
Sorry, Abs. We know what it's like. When Anthony from accounts calls, nothing happens quickly. Can I have a flat white, please? Thank you.
Okay, well, let's get on with it. Millie Duffy from HR wants an answer by 11. We've got like 10 minutes and 37 seconds. Seth, can you stop looking at dating sites and just apply yourself to the problem at hand?
Give a boy a break, Abby. Love beckons. What's the problem?
Come on, you got the memo. Look, management want bright ideas for diversity training, some sort of bonding activity. And we three, being the brightest of bright young things,
Thank you very much.
well, we get coffee in 10 minutes to sort it out.
Well, they already got me on the company flyer and the poster for reception. Now they want me on the diversity training. I'm gonna need a raise for this one. Okay, so look at us. I'm black, Abby's white, and you, Seth?
Careful, my friend. One hint of prejudice and my lawyer's on your case.
You, Seth, are a fine blend with top notes of caramel, a mizz of smoky topaz, and base hints of desert
What's
sand.
smoky topaz?
Children's crayon color, circa 1994.
How could you possibly know that?
It's more of a question how Keenan knows that.
Well, you are looking at a year 3 colouring in Wonder Kid with a splodge of smoky topaz, a smidge of tiger's eye, and moonstones. Man, moonstones. Did you guys ever let loose on moonstone?
I didn't do coloring in. I was too busy reading
Look,
Shakespeare.
can we move on?
So, diversity. Seth here is a fine-looking, Torah-quoting genius of Jewish heritage. I'm a handsome, Bible-loving Christian. What are you, Abs?
I'm not anything.
Look, nobody's not anything. I will put you down as...
Pagan.
Now you can call your lawyer Seth.
Easy, Seth. Abs, I'm gonna put you down as an atheist.
Skeptic.
Did you guys hear the one about the Jew, the Christian, and the skeptic who walked into a bar?
No.
They got sore heads. It was an iron bar.
Oh, is that the best an Oxford University education can do? Can we crack on? Millie's phoning in like 8 minutes. Okay, focus. You need a bonding activity, team stuff.
All right. How about rugby sevens or American football?
There is no way that Millie is signing up to charging around a field, taking out members of the department.
I wouldn't mind her taking me out.
Seth?
All right. Okay, how about tag wrestling?
Fine. I'm putting a visit to an ice cream factory. You, Keenan?
Cave-in.
People! Why on earth would we want to sign up to going down some godforsaken dark hole in the ground, contorting ourselves into weird shapes, getting dripped on, and then we need rescuing because somebody finds themselves on the wrong side of freedom?
We could all hold hands in the dark.
Count me in.
I got the idea yesterday evening. I read this article online, not just about any old hole in the ground cave. It was actually fascinating research they'd done. Absolutely brilliant. And you'll like this, Seth. Start off at 10 points. What are the oldest copies of the books of the Old Testament, your Hebrew Bible? Think caves.
All right, Keenan, bring it on. The Dead Sea Scrolls. First discovered winter 1946, maybe early 47, by Bedouin Arab Muhammad the Wolf el-Dib. The name gives you where it was found, the Dead Sea Scrolls. After that, thousands of early documents and fragments were found in 12 different caves. The entire books of the Bible, your Old Testament, except the Book of Esther, was found. These copies dated 2,000, 2,300 years old. Shall I go on?
Who was Esther? Why did she get left out?
Persian queen, 2,500 years ago. I don't know, maybe the scribes were sexist. It's a long story.
Seth's right. It seems as though the shepherd was out with his friends on the hills above the Dead Sea. They throw a stone into a cave and hear pottery breaking. But the caves are like tiny, it's like cats live there. So they go away.
Can we make this quick? Time's ticking.
Anyway, so this wolf guy comes back, goes into a cave nearby and finds them. There's a market for these kinds of things. So he takes them and, well, it's a long story. You can read about it online. Anyway, Seth, back in the game. Which is the longest complete Dead Sea Scroll found?
Longest Bible or longest whatever?
Bible?
The Great Isaiah Scroll. Its length is 7.34 meters long. That's the three of us and Millie Duffy lying end to end, which is a beautiful thought.
They got a video of it online. Picture that being in the dark for over 2,000 years. It's amazing, isn't it?
Wait, is this relevant to office bonding activities?
No, Abs, but hear me out. So, this professor, Randall Price, comes along and he says...
Why on earth should I be listening to Professor Price?
He worked on this. He was a part of the team that discovered the last cave in 2017. He says that the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls is the greatest literary and archaeological discovery of our time.
Him and hundreds of others. I mean, these are the Dead Sea Scrolls. It was a huge deal. They pushed back known biblical accuracy by 1,000 years.
So, go on, Seth. When did Isaiah write the original?
Well, Isaiah lived 2,700 years ago. He was a respected prophet, respected by Jews, Christians, and Muslims.
So, 2,700 years ago, yes. And the Dead Sea Scrolls are 2,100 years ago, yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm understanding where you're going with this. Get ready for an apologetics lesson. Canaan is on a scroll.
No. You gotta come better than that joke.
I'm not getting anything. What are we talking about?
So, if Isaiah was writing scrolls 2,700 years ago, and we have copies of what he wrote 2,100 years ago...
I know. And if Jesus lived 2,000 years ago and Isaiah wrote about him centuries before, what does that say about Jesus?
Yes, you've got it, man. So, tell me about Micah, another of the Dead Sea Scroll Bible books.
Micah was a book written by another prophet, coincidentally named Micah, believe it or not. That was also 2,700 years ago.
And what did he write about Bethlehem? I'm really testing you on this, Seth. Think Micah chapter 5.
O Bethlehem, you are a small village amongst the people of Judah, yet from you a ruler of Israel shall come whose origins are from the distant past.
Impressive, Seth. And a question for you, Abs. Guess who was born in Bethlehem?
Jesus, of course. Now you're just being patronising.
But you see what Michael's doing there? He talks about Bethlehem being important 700 years before Jesus was actually born. What are the odds on that?
Well, no. Look, King David, second ruler of Israel, was also born in Bethlehem.
Sure, but that was way before Michael wrote his book. And speaking of David, since you're so good at this, what did he write in Psalms 22 verses 16 to 18?
My enemies surround me like a pack of dogs. A gang of evil closes in on me. They pierced my hands and feet. I can count all my bones. My enemies stare at me and gloat. They divided my garments among themselves and throw dice for my clothing.
And when did he write that?
1,000 years before Jesus?
See what David did there? Pierced hands and feet, all his bones, enemies staring, throwing dice for clothes, Abs.
Jesus again.
And it's all there in the Bible stories. Jesus being nailed to a cross. None of his bones were broken. People who yelled at him and wanted him dead. Soldiers gambling for his clothes. And there's lots of stuff like this. Bits from the Old Testament from different people at different times predicting what will happen in the life of Jesus. How he lived in Egypt, riding a donkey into Jerusalem, being betrayed for 30 pieces of silver, being rejected by his family, healing the blind and the deaf, raising the dead back to life, coming back to life himself, and the Bible predicts that Jesus will return to the earth again. Now, I read this other guy, and he reckons that the chances of Jesus fulfilling all the predictions in the Old Testament are like millions and millions to one. It's like picking a single electron out of dozens of universes.
And, the Isaiah scroll, the one in the video, where does that fit in?
Well, Isaiah is one of the major prophets. He writes dozens of things that relate to Jesus, such as Isaiah 53 verses 5, and 6. Seth.
Call him off, Abby. Let's talk about the ice cream factory.
No, come on, it's interesting.
I thought you were skeptic.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm brain dead. Go on, Isaiah
Isaiah
said.
chapter 53 verses 5 and 6.
All right, your wish and all that. He was pierced for our rebellion, crushed for our sins. He was beaten so that we may be whole. He was whipped so that we may be healed. All of us, like sheep, have strayed. We have left God's paths to follow our own. But the Lord laid on him the sins of us all.
I didn't get any of that.
This is what it's all about. Isaiah tells us why Jesus got killed. So we can get back to God. Be forgiven. Start out fresh and get to heaven when our time's up.
Oh, our time is definitely up. Millie, yes. Yeah, we've got 3 ideas. Well, 2 and Seth's. Yeah, Seth wants to do some sport. Rugby was his best suggestion. Tag wrestling was his worst. Yeah, I told him it's not going to happen. Keenan wants to go caving, preferably to find some ancient scrolls by the Dead Sea. And I suggested an ice cream factory. Mm-hmm. Are you sure? Okay, we'll be back in 5.
So, don't keep us waiting.
Kanan wins. Seems like Millie wants to go caving too.
Canaan knows.
But this is really weird, like really, really weird.
It's not that weird. Plenty of people do.
No, this is really weird. She said she would be happy to hold Keenan's hand in the dark.
No way. Come on.
Yeah.
Only one way. Only one way.